What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So I completely forgot to get an intro for this video again. So if you guys want to see how I got the car to this point and got the suspension and everything on this car, make sure you guys watch this video, watch to the end. But anyway, in this video I'm just going to be focusing on the coupe and getting the front suspension from the sedan over to the coupe. And if you guys haven't already seen the last video where I did the rear end, swapped out the rear end, or the rear suspension, swapped out the rear suspension from the sedan over to the coupe, make sure you guys check that video out. That's from last week. Let's just get into it. Check it out. Alright guys, so my plan of attack right now is to basically just start off with taking the front suspension apart on the coupe. And I did already kind of get started. I have this side all taken apart, and it seems like this thing hasn't been taken apart in a while because those ball joints were giving me a hard time. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go through and just kind of make sure I'm not going to come across any surprises or anything. But yeah, everything was pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go through, take this side apart, and then from there, we'll dive into the sedan and kind of check out the damage with the front suspension once everything is off, or hopefully everything does come off smoothly, because that's a whole nother problem there. So this is where the CB coupe is sitting right now. So from here, I just need to focus my attention over on the sedan and start taking my good parts out, and my 5-lug, my big brake, all that good stuff. So again, I'm just really hoping that that upper control arm is good, and then the coilover. So if you guys haven't seen the last couple of videos where I started taking apart the sedan, I took out the engine and the rear suspension. So if you guys haven't already, check those videos out. But if you guys did see those videos, you guys saw that the front coilovers on both sides are broken. So it pretty much got broken at the threads at the top of the shock assembly. So I'm probably gonna have to buy a new like shock assembly and maybe a couple new parts. But overall, the entire coilover assemblies are still pretty straight. The springs and everything are still usable. So yeah, luckily Function and Form does sell the coilovers piece by piece, so you can buy each part separate to replace certain parts. So that's good news for me. But anyway, I'm gonna get started on the sedan, taking the front suspension apart on that. So yeah, let's get to it. So now when it comes to taking apart the sedan and taking the front suspension apart, this one might get really interesting and might give me a lot more problems, because obviously everything's all bent, buckled out of the way, you know. So yeah, I'm pretty sure those upper control arms are bent, and this isn't even the bad one, but you can kind of see how like the angle of it looks tweaked. It looks like it kind of warped this way, you know. It's kind of doing this, and then that side you can kind of see that it's gonna be a fun time getting to those nuts if I can. So yeah, so I know taking apart the front suspension on this car is going to be a lot more difficult. So I was just saving this for a later time. So yeah, I'm just going to get into it right now. I'm going to start by jacking it up, and yeah, I'm just going to start taking apart what I can, what's accessible, and then from there, if we have to start cutting stuff out, we'll start cutting some stuff out. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, guys, I'm not too sure what I filmed last night, but this is where the sedan is at right now. So I got the front end, or the front suspension, all taken apart. So this side was a little bit more tricky. If you see right here, I did have to kind of chop it up right here, bend this out of the way, so I can, I basically had to like separate the A-arm from the two bushings that come down. So if you ever take the upper control arms off, you'll notice that it's like a there's like a threaded bolt here, goes down to a bushing, like a round bushing, and that's where the A-arm pivots on. So I had to separate the A-arm from those studs, and then from there I was actually able to get those out. So but yeah, I mean, here we go, got everything out. So you can kind of see right here, this is what I'm talking about with the coilover. So both front coilovers got sheared off right here. So it's basically like the shock assembly got sheared at the top, so the adjustment bolt and all that stuff is not there. And along with that, the stuff that mounts the top hat on to the assembly is it's gone. So I still have the top hat, I still have the spring, the dust boots, bump stops, the perch, the bottom assembly, all that stuff. Basically all I need is to buy just like a replacement shock assembly and some like the adjustment screw and all the stuff that goes up top here. There's a couple bushings that I think are long gone, just from the wreck and stuff. So basically I just need to get a couple bushings and stuff and a new shock assembly, and I think I should be good with my front coilovers. So yeah, I'll just save all that stuff, and this is all good. And then I still need to get my sway bar out. So this is the Suspension Techniques sway bar, so I still need to get that out, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. And then over here I have the whole knuckle assembly all laid out here with the big brakes and everything. I still have the axle in place because I don't have a socket big enough for this axle nut here and right here. So these did get bent a little bit. So this one actually stayed pretty straight. Like right now I could go and put this in there and it fits right in place, but you can kind of see that there's a slight tweak to it. So if you see it from the side, you can see it got a little tweaked. And then this one, this is the passenger side, so this one you can see it got bent, but it's not super bad. I thought it would be way worse. So I mean, honestly, I'm probably gonna try like putting this on the vise or something, and maybe like torching it and try like bending it back to place. But what I'm gonna do is try bending this straight, that way I have like a distance, and then from there I'll try bending the control arm. I don't even know if I can, because like I said, this control arm is super beefy. It seems super strong, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do anything as far as like bending it back. But yeah, we'll give it a try, we'll see. So yeah, this is the first thing I'm gonna start on, is trying to put some damage into this thing and see if I can try to bend it out, because this is kind of what's determining whether I can put the front suspension back together on that car or not. So we'll see. All right, guys, so good news. I was actually able to get these things bent. So this was the one that was really bad, and side by side, kind of compare, you can kind of see they're pretty close. And I did already kind of test fit them up to the car, and they do go in the holes and everything. So that's all I really need, honestly. I still want to get new upper control arms in the future, just because I really don't trust these, and it's still a little tweaked. You can kind of see that there's still some things wrong with it, you know. So definitely have that on the shopping list. But for now, that's good news, because I can get everything all put together on the Coupe, and there shouldn't really be any problems, I'm hoping. All right, and just so you guys can see, so fit that in place. And then, dang it, where is it? I missed it. See, yeah, you can see. So you can see that it does go right through the holes with no problem. So, and yeah, that's really all I need. I just need this to go in place just so it can hold the front suspension together. So that's good news. And there we go. Upper control arms are installed. They fit perfect, and doesn't look too crazy, but yeah, this is the one that's bent. You could kind of see it in there. Even when the ball joint's straight, you can kind of see it's a little bent. So yeah, I definitely need to replace these, but they'll do the job for now. All right, guys, there we go. This thing is actually starting to look pretty good, not gonna lie. With the RPF ones kind of lowered a little bit. The car obviously still has a long way to go, but as far as the suspension, it's pretty much together for the most part. So again, I am going to have to replace the upper control arms, and I am gonna have to replace the shock for the coilovers. But other than that, I think I should be able to get everything together. So for now, I haven't really started putting any of the stock components on the sedan, just because I really want to keep some of the stock suspension components, mainly the lower control arms and the upper control arms, just so I can kind of run those in the meantime until I buy some new parts. So before I change anything up, before I do any switching around of suspension parts, I kind of want to hit up some scrap yards, or hit up some scrappers, some like metal scrappers, and see if they can pick the sedan up without the front end, like without the front suspension. I'm gonna see if they can tow it with something, or if they have something to throw the car on just to like roll it out. And if they're able to do it with the front suspension all torn apart, then I'm just gonna leave it like that, have them take it. That way I could kind of keep some of the stock suspension components. But yeah, overall, I'm super stoked on how this thing is coming together. So there still is a really long way to go. I'll kind of get into the whole like engine situation, engine bay, and the interior, why there's no windows and all that stuff. I'll get into that in the next video once I actually start cleaning out the interior and cleaning out the engine bay. I really want to get this block out of here, like the block and transmission out, as soon as possible, while I still have that cherry picker here. And I do have the fenders, bumper, I do have the sunroof and all that stuff. I am planning on putting the sunroof back in because I'm kind of going a different direction with this car than I originally planned. But yeah, I am gonna throw the sunroof back in. Yeah, like I said, I'll get into it in another video. In the next video, make sure you guys look out for that. Hit that subscribe button, keep an eye out. But I'll get into starting to clean out the interior, showing you guys around the rest of the car. But overall, I'm super stoked on how this thing is coming out. Make sure you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments.